Hello everybody, welcome to Totally Tabled. My name is Shaggy, and today I'm doing a full solo playthrough of Vantage. Vantage is a new cooperative open-world adventure game from designer Jamey Stegmaier of Stonemaier Games. In this box, we have an entire mysterious, uncharted planet to explore. So let's not delay any further. Here you see I have everything set up for the solo game. Turn the Book of Vantages onto the back side. Weeks after receiving a mysterious signal from the Traveler, your ship arrives in the orbit of an uncharted planet. Create the total challenge dice pool using 8 dice plus 2 per player. Because we're playing solo, I've placed 10 dice into the pool. It then says that each player should take a skill, either randomly or by choice, and then collect your matching character card. I took this skill token, which is a move skill token, and that gave me the character Jules, the captain. They have a win place reward right here, which is simply 2 boost cubes. It then says each player needs to set their 3 markers, which represent health, morale, and time, onto this track right here, depending on the difficulty level that we're going with. And for this game, we're going to go with daring. So we're going to place all 3 of our trackers on the 4. Daring is the difficulty level that the rulebook suggests for your first game. We then need to take 2 skill tokens at random, and that's going to determine what our mission for this game is. When you need to take skills at random, you can just roll 2 of these skill dice. Looks like we got a move and a help. So we can take those. And checking out this chart here, it looks like we have mission 1582. So we're just going to go to the box and find that card. Our mission for this game is to assemble a group of sentients. Have a total of at least 1 sentient plus 1 per player in grids or reserves. If you do, read 1582 in the Book of Secrets. Since we're playing solo, that means we need to get 2 sentients in order to complete this mission. We're now told to go to 001, which is on the back of the Book of Secrets. The ship malfunctions. You have mere seconds to escape. All right, we're told to take another skill token, either select it or take it at random. And then that's going to give us a starting location. Let's go ahead and take it at random, so I'll roll a die again. Okay, another help. That means we're starting at location 5. Your escape pod seals tight, ejecting towards the planet in a completely different direction from the others. You gain 2 random skills and crash onto the matching location. You may re-roll pairs to get an easier location. Keep this card, number 5, in the holder to obscure the backs of your new locations and future locations you visit. Since we're playing solo, we don't need to worry about having our locations in holders and obscuring it from other players. If you were playing multiplayer, you'd need to worry about that. So we're just going to keep our locations face up here. We need to roll again. Okay, we got another help and an overpower. And that looks like location 180. An older sentient hums a tune to themselves in the shade. And there we go. That is setup complete. We are ready to begin. Unlike my other playthroughs on the channel where I play the game a bunch of times before filming, for this one, I thought it would be best to come in it completely cold. So I've read the rulebook, but I have yet to play a game. We're going to learn and discover this game together. So that means I'm going to do my best to get all the rules correct, but I'm going to have to learn some of this stuff as I go. There may be things that we need to figure out, some things that I might miss, but I figured this would be the best way of exploring this game because this really is a game about discovery. Let's talk briefly about what we can do on a turn. There's really 3 main things. First, we can take a location action, and those are listed right here. So here at our starting location, we could approach this sentient. We could learn. We could greet them. We could make an offer. enlist, or fight. Keep in mind that usually you're only going to be able to take one of these. Unless an action tells you that you can take more actions at a location, you only get to do one. So we're not going to be able to do all of these, most likely. The other thing you could do is take an action that's on one of your cards. So as you can see on my character card here, I have a couple of actions that I could take. I have Master, Buy, and Equip. Now, I don't know what those are referring to necessarily, but those are actions I could take. Also on our mission card, we have a bunch of actions. We have Pivot, Research, Plea, and Hone. So yeah, on my turn, I could choose one of those. The third type of action that I could do is just to move to a different location. And as you can see up here in this sort of compass, I could move north, and then I would take that numbered location. I could move east and take that one, west and take that one. And then if I wanted to go south, it has that little asterisk. For that, I'd have to consult the book. Specifically, the Depart book. When we take most of these actions, we're going to have to turn to one of these books and read what happens. Obviously, the first thing I want to do is take a location action and do something with this sentient. Now, obviously, we want to assemble a group of sentients. That's our mission. So definitely don't want to fight them. My instinct is to greet them. That seems to be the most natural thing to do. I don't want to approach them. That could come off as hostile. Learning would be great, but I don't know if there's time for that. I'd love to make them an offer. And I have 3 offer skill tokens. Those are going to help me avoid penalties when I take these actions. You'll see that in a second. So I'm tempted to just go straight to making an offer. Not sure what kind of offer I'm going to make. Hopefully a friendly one. I would suggest an offer to join me, but then we also have enlist. I think I just crash landed on this planet. Things are a little frantic right now. I'm just going to jump straight into making an offer. I'm skilled at that, so this will probably work out well. I'm going to move this off to the side for now. And because this is a green help action, we go to the green help storybook. And this is card 180. So we're going to flip to section 180 and just read what it says. We have 180. We have a 3 there. We have offer to help the sentient with a task. And for now, that's all we read. We don't read further. We don't get to know the result of the action that we're about to take. Now, the way actions work in this game is that you always succeed. You never fail an action, but there might be more consequences, more penalties for taking the action. In this case, that 3 means that we need to roll 3 challenge dice. So we take the 3 challenge dice. These dice have things that can reduce our either time, our morale, or our health. We also have a blank side, which does nothing. And then we have a side that just places this die back into the challenge dice pool. Now at this point, we can actually spend our skill tokens in order to reduce the number of challenge dice that we have to roll. How about I say let's just spend all 3 of our help tokens and reduce the dice down to 0. That at least assures us that we don't take any penalty. Now that we've done that, we can continue to read and see what happens. The sentient brightens at the prospect of your aid, and they ask you to place some flags in the area so they can more easily see the wind patterns from a distance. Gain 1 help and quest 1669. Add it horizontally to your supply. The elder, too old to fly out into the open prairie, wishes to monitor the wind from a safe distance via a series of well-placed flags. So here we go. Place a series of flags. Perform this quest's place action on 3 of the 6 locations to the north, as shown here. If you do, read 1669 in the Book of Secrets. And we get another help token. Great. Well, I think we definitely want to do this because if we do that, then maybe this sentient will join us. There we go. That is our turn done. If we were playing a multiplayer game, it would go to the next player. We're playing solo, so we can just keep going. What that means, though, is that I cannot take another one of these actions at this location. I either have to take a card action or I have to move. In order to complete this, we need to move to the north and, put a flag up in 3 of those locations. So I say, let's move to the north. That's going to be card 185. Now, anytime you do one of these move actions, it's considered a move 1. It has a challenge rating of 1, so we have to roll 1 die. I could spend my move token, but nah, I'm just going to roll this 1 die and see what we get. Okay, we got a time. So now we have a chance to deal with this challenge. If I don't deal with it, I'm going to reduce my time by 1. And if any of these markers get to the 0 spot, that's how we can lose the game. Fortunately, Jules here, the captain, has this box right here, which shows that we can place one of the challenge dice here if it's a move action that we're taking. And because it's blank, we can place any die there. So I can go ahead and place this here in order to avoid that penalty. And as it shows on the side here, when I place a die here, I actually get a benefit. I get a boost cube. I have room to store 6 boost cubes on here. And there we go. Now that's going to stay there blocked. We can't put another die there until all of the challenge dice come out of the pool. Once that happens, we then take all of the challenge dice and put them back into the pool. So I covered my move, and now we can go to location 185. The wind bellows through ancient, crumbling structures. Now this game is called Vantage because each of these cards is basically displaying what we see, right? Our point of view. It's very important to look and study the artwork because that can give you clues to what might be there. The main thing that draws my eye is that dragon-looking thing that's in the sky along with a bunch of other birds. That is a concern. I wonder if our best bet might be to scan this area and see if there's anything that we can notice about these structures. So we're going to pull out the Look storybook and turn to 185. So it says 185. E for scan the ruins for anything useful. In this case, the E just represents a region that's on the world, like a larger region. And that might come into effect for certain cards, but we don't need to worry about that so much right now. This is going to be quite the challenge. This is a 4 challenge, and we have nothing, no skill dice. So we're just going to have to roll and see what we get. Ooh, not good. So let's see what we can do with this. We do have this spot right here that can take a morale. The lightning there just means that if we were playing a multiplayer game, we could put anyone's dice there. So if like another player rolled a morale, we could put it there. But in this case, it's just ours. We're going to place that there. On this here, I also have a spot that I can place if I'm taking one of these, purple look actions. So we can place anything there. I'll place one there. Now I can also use my special ability that Jules has. I can spend a boost in order to re-roll one of my challenge dice. So let's spend a boost and let's re-roll one of these. Re-rolled it to a time. That is slightly better. I think I might try that again. Maybe I'll do the heart this time. Okay, I rolled the same thing. Now, it says here that I gain a move token if I roll the same thing on the die when I do this. So I will take that. And I guess at this point, I'm just going to take this. So we're going to have these 2 penalties. We put them right here, and we're going to lose a little bit of health and a little bit of time. But again, you always succeed, so now we can read. You identify a small snare among the rubble. Gain 1 boost and 1 look. Go to interior 542. Okay, so we get a boost back. And a little skill. And 542. The prairie wind gusts through the ruins. Well, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. It looks like we could pick some flowers there, or just some grasses. There also appears to be like a treasure chest in the background there. There's a loot symbol by what looks like tools, like shovels and things, so we could probably get a shovel. Or we could search what looks like a trap of some sort, and then we could like break a column or break something over there. That seems like a really bad idea. Not sure I want to do that. I'm tempted by scaling this thing. Getting to the top, we could maybe see around a little bit, see where we are. That's kind of tempting, and I do have the skill for it. This is kind of Jules' thing. She's good at this. Yeah, let's do that. Let's not take anything. Let's not rifle through anything. Let's be a little bit more diplomatic than that. And let's try to scale this and see if we can get a sense of our surroundings. So that's going to be the Move Storybook 542. Okay, I had a feeling this was going to be tough. This is a 5 challenge. Scale the crumbling central tower of the ruins. Well, we're going to be using our 3 move tokens there. So we only have to roll 2 dice. And we pretty much don't have a lot of ways of manipulating these, so... Okay, great. We got a blank. Excellent. That blank will do nothing to us. We're all good. I think I will use a boost just to see if I can get something better on this one. All right. Excellent. So that one doesn't do us any damage. It just goes back into the challenge dice pool. In a way, that's bad because it delays us being able to take all of these dice off and free up these spaces, but I think it's better than taking damage. You scramble up the tower, old stone crumbling beneath your fingernails. At the top, view page 35 in the Book of Vantages and gain 2 boost. This is exactly what I had hoped for. Whoa, there's a lot to take in here. Oh my goodness. So from up here, we get to see the entirety of Region E, at least the parts that aren't covered by smog. Now, I'm not certain if this is just everything that I'm seeing to the north of me, or if this is just all of Region E, and we're somewhere here in the middle, and this is what I see all around me. I'm guessing it's the latter, because there in the middle, that's probably where we landed. Those were the tents. That's where the elder sentient was. So we went north, so we're up there in that foggy area, I suppose. So if we go south, it looks like there's some civilization. There's a whole city down there. Up to the north, less so. And there's some weird objects. There's that strange diamond-shaped thing in the middle of the water there. There's an odd orb-shaped thing to the northwest. And then look there to the east. Some strange buildings, almost look like observatories. And then as we go south, just some crazy stuff happening. Look there in the southeast, a crazy machine of some sort. Absolutely fascinating. All right, I think a part of me wants to go to the west. Mostly just because I'm a little scared of that dragon, which looks like it's heading east. Now, we could go north again. We'd have to read something. So there'd be something there, but there is that treasure chest. Ooh. Okay, I am curious. Let's go north again from here. My curiosity is too great. I have to see what's over there. So we take the Depart book, and then we just look at our number, 542. All right, so see there, we're heading north. It's going to be a 2 challenge trek north across the prairie. Now, I do have the ability here, my boost ability, I could spend 2 boost in order to get a move token, which I could then spend to just roll 1 die. I think I'll roll both of them. Okay, great. 1 blank. And then 1 time. Let's spend 1 boost and give this another go. Okay, and we got a blank. Excellent. Okay, that's working out well. We're doing well with that. When you exit the ruins, the shadow of something high up in the clouds passes over the plains. Go to 190. Oh no. Oh boy. The Circuit Sentients believe this cave may hold the secret to untethered flight. Oh wow. So we could squeeze into that tunnel of that cave. We could explore, consult, craft, forage, or charge. Okay, well, 2 thoughts come into my mind. 1, there's some sort of dragon thing flying over me, so I'm freaked out. Seeing a cave, I'm probably more scared of the dragon than I am of the cave. But I tell you what I'm gonna do. I did come here for a purpose, so first of all, before we take a location action, let's do a card action, and let's do it on here, and let's try to place one of the flags. So that's going to be the help storybook, and it's going to be 1669. Looks like it's a 2 challenge, place a flag so it captures the wind. I'm tempted to spend this. Yeah, let's spend this so it's just a 1. And it's a blank, yes. So we can mark that we placed a flag right there, because that's where we started. We skipped that one, and now we're placing one right there. As soon as you place the flag in the ground, the wind tosses it to life, much to the pleasure of the onlooking elder. Place a token on quest 1669 relative to location 180, where you gain the quest. Okay. Now we need to decide what we're going to do here. I feel like exploring the cave. I feel like getting away from this dragon, going into the cave. And frankly, if we could figure out the secret to untethered flight, that would be extremely helpful. So, Jules is very curious. Yeah, I think we're going to squeeze into the cave. Okay, it's a 2 challenge. Squeeze blindly into the pitch black of the cave. Ooh, I didn't think about light. That could be a problem. But now here's the good news. We need 2 dice. There's only 1 left in the challenge pool. So we reset all of them. And then we roll our 2. And now I have a nice spot for one of them. Okay, great. Got a blank, and we can just store that one and get another boost. Despite the impressive width of the cave mouth, you're increasingly overwhelmed by claustrophobia as you move deeper and deeper inside. Just when you can't take it any longer, a cavern opens before you. Lose 1 morale and go to Cave 36. All right, lose a morale. That's a shame. So we have a cavern barrier. A pitch black passage prevents you from proceeding deeper into the cave. It's getting scary in here. Do I attempt another squeeze? I think it makes sense to explore, right? It's dark, so rather than just continuing to go, let's explore the area. Or do I just want to keep charging in? Ooh, this is tough. I think I want to continue on. I've gotten this far in. Let's continue to squeeze. Let's see how far we can get in. Okay, so it's just a 1 challenge. Squeeze blindly into the pitch black of the cave. Got a heart. Let's boost. Okay, there we go. Blank. Perfect. You quickly realize that this isn't a short passage, and you return to the entrance, gain 1 boost, and continue. That's a shame, but I'm actually glad that happened. So that shows that continue means that, you know, if we were playing a multiplayer game, we would get to take another action. We wouldn't go on to the next player. But it also means that we can take another location action. Not the same one, but we can take a different one. So that's the way that continue is how you're able to take multiple actions in the same location. So we basically tried to squeeze through. We realized that this thing is going on for a really long time, and we back away and we come back here. I think my initial idea was correct. I think we need to explore. Go into the lookbook. Oh no. This is a 6, Explore the Darkness. Wow. Well, I can make it a 5 with that. Man, this might be bad. Ooh, okay, this worked out fantastically well. We got 2 blanks. That can go back to the challenge pool. This morale hit can go right here. And this time hit can go here. So we ended up doing that without taking any penalty. Amazing. The barrier is a pitch black, endless void. Finally, you emerge much deeper into the planet. Go to cave 96. Oh wow, we found our way through. Oh god, if this is your first visit here, either pay a move to evade the dragon's first strike or lose a heart. Oh boy, I think I will pay 2 boost to get a move token, which I'll then spend to evade that. Now, anytime you see that red exclamation mark there, that means that you have to do that right away, first thing. So here we have a colossal elder dragon looms before you as it prepares to strike. The glimmer of intelligence in its eyes indicates that it isn't an ordinary animal. Well, I was trying to get away from the dragon, and I managed to go into its cave, so my survival instincts are as sharp as ever. Excellent. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?